Hi everybody, it's Miss Beck, and today we're doing our knowledge lesson number 3, the Lakota Sioux, and we're going to be talking about where is Winona. Sorry. So today we're going to look at some images of the Sioux, and this video does not have sound, so if you're looking for sound, it's just images. So I'm going to press this for you. This picture has images of the Lakota Sioux that live in the Great Plains. And remember, yesterday we talked about the Great Plains was the location of the Lakota Sioux. And then also we talked about how important the buffalo were. And we talked about the different warriors and the different hunters. So far we've learned some great information about the Lakota Sioux. Do you guys remember where they lived? That's right. If you said the Great Plains, you're correct. Do you remember how they got their food? What did they do? That's right. They hunted. What did they eat? Well, one of their main staples was buffalo, but they ate other things as well. How did the Lakota Sioux use the buffalo? They used the buffalo to make food, clothing, shelter, and musical instruments. And remember that they used every different part of the buffalo. Today we will learn more about clothing and houses of the Lakota Sioux. All right, we're going to make a couple choices while we're still looking at this. Did the Lakota Sioux hunt buffalo or chickens? Buffalo. Ding, ding, ding. Are girls or boys trained to hunt buffalo? Boys. Yeah, girls were not trained to hunt buffalo, not in this culture. Are warriors agile or clumsy? That's right, they are agile. Thank you. All right. Well, let's take a look at what we have here today. While we're reading, we're going to have some very important vocabulary words.
I love that book, Mommy.
Well, thank you.
Because there's someone on the back of it.
The chief is the person who is in charge of a tribe. Mischief is behavior that can be naughty or against the rules. I don't think any of y'all have ever got into mischief. A parfleche is a small bag made of animal hide. And remember, they use the animal hides for lots of things. And a travois is a type of sled used to carry a teepee and other belongings. For example, the Lakota Sioux family piled up all their belongings onto the travois and moved towards the summer camp. So right here, we have a little bit of a summary of the things that we've been talking about. So this compares the students today to the Lakota Sioux. So we see here, students today live in modern times with modern buildings. At the Lakota Sioux, what do you notice that's different about that picture? Well, number one, I don't see any buildings whatsoever. And number two, if I did see places where they lived, they wouldn't look, the same like they do now. All right, so let's take a look at the clothing. Oh, that looks like some nice looking clothes. Well, the Native Americans, the Lakota Sioux, had clothes, but they look different. Can you tell your grown up one way the Lakota Sioux's clothes look different? Now, look up here. We have food. This is all the different types of food that we have available to us. We have many types of food available at the grocery store, at the farmer's market, Walmart, and the Lakota Sioux did not have quite as many options there. Buffalo was their main source of food. Here we see the shelter, a lovely house. Now, not everybody lives in houses, but that's just representative of some of the places we live today. And then down here, do you know what that is?
Some people live
That's a teepee. So the Lakota Sioux live in the Great Plains, and they hunt to get their food, and they eat buffalo. Today we're going to learn about some more about clothing and the houses of the Lakota Sioux. Again, our vocabulary words: chief, mischief. Looks like that little boy's into mischief. Parfleche and Travigoy. That's a
mischief. It says on the wonky donkey.
Oh, it does say mischief on the wonky donkey. So our purpose for listening today is we're going to tell a story about a Lakota Sioux girl named Mapia. Listen carefully to the two questions. What type of clothing does Mapia and her family wear, and what type of house do they live in? Mapia. So here is a picture of Mapia. I'm going to get my book so I can tell you the correct story.
She's so pretty.
She is pretty. So this is Mapia, and she is a Native American Lakota Sioux girl. Why do you think she looks so happy? Well, every year, Mapia looks forward to moving with her family to their summer camp. After several days of traveling from their winter camp, they have finally arrived to Mapia's favorite place. They have moved here to hunt the buffalo. While other men look for buffalo, Mapia and her family live in this special spot with the other Lakota Sioux families, and the day shortens, signaling fall. Fall is one of our good seasons of the year. She does look happy to be there. This is Mapia's family: her mother, her father, her grandfather, and her sister, Tasha, and her baby brother, Chetan. Can you notice anything from the picture that is made with buffalo skins? Yes, scoot over, please. Their clothes and their moccasins are made of buffalo skins, and their teepees or hauso are also made from buffalo too. Think of how easy you would be able to carry your house with you if you lived in a teepee. Teepees are taken apart and put back together again. Now, I would say that would be easy for some people. It wouldn't be particularly easy for me. This Speck's not good at putting up camping tents, so I doubt that I would be very good at putting up teepees either. Let's turn that down, okay? Close. All right, and scoot over. All right, so now here we have a picture of Mapia's family traveling. What do you see in this picture? Mapia and her family never stay in one place for long. Lakota Sioux families move frequently following the buffalo across the plains. Mapia's mother is one who always packs all of their belongings and the teepee. Before leaving the winter camp, Mapia's mother piled their clothing, blankets, and rugs into the back of horses. Many things were loaded onto the travios. Even grandmother and Tasha rode on travios. Chetan rode in a cradle board on mother's back. A cradle board is a board that many Native American tribes used to carry babies around. So right here, the cradle board. You had to be pretty small to ride in the cradle board. But here they are traveling. So look at this picture. We have Mapia, and what does she have? Well, she's got her doll, and her parfleche. Ooh, what did Miss Beck do? Sorry. She took special care of her doll, Wiona, wrapping her up in a little fur blanket before putting her onto the parfleche. Mother made Wiona for Mapia. Mother also helped Mapia sew clothes and beaded little moccasins for the doll. Mapia loves Wiona very much. Do you have a special toy like Mapia?
I have a lot of special toys.
Oh. All right, number 3.5, this is the Sioux camp. The Lakota Sioux are busy getting their new summer camp. Their teepees form a circle. So see how they form a circle here? With all the doorways facing in the same direction, away from the strong winds that blow across the plains from the west. They are set up in order of a family's importance. Since the chief is the person in charge of the tribe, his teepee is the most important. Apia's father is respected hunter and warrior or fighter, so his teepee is placed near the chief's. So I guess if you are well respected, then you get to live near the chief, and that would serve as some great protection as well. Mapia's family will raise its teepee beside the cottonwood trees. Mother leans Chetan's cradle board against the tree trunk. So that's a good picture right here of this cradle board. He is fast asleep. Mapia usually has to watch over Tashia, but today grandmother will look after her. She already took her over to visit Mapia's aunt because her teepee had been raised already. Mapia is glad to be given a break. Tashia is always getting into mischief. Getting into mischief means getting into trouble for doing something naughty or against the rules. Do you guys ever do anything to get into mischief? No, never. So image 3A7, Mapia's mother is erecting the teepee. Erecting means to put up. Mother starts raising the teepee's frame with a long, thin wooden pole. To build the teepee, Mother ties 3 poles together. Using a large rope, she pulls them upright to form the shape of a triangle. 3-sided triangle. I would say that's more like a cone, a 3D shape. Let's see. This makes a strong base. Then she adds 3 more poles to the frame, leaning them against the notch formed by the 3 poles at the top. Wow, she's very good. The teepee cover is attached to the last pole. Lifting that last pole up at the back of the teepee, Mother leans it onto the other poles. Then Mapia helps pull her cover around the poles, making the walls of the teepee. They join the 2 sides over with pegs, leaving an opening for the doorway under the last peg. During the hot summer months, they will roll the teepee cover over from the bottom to let in air. The smoke hole at the top of the teepee can be opened and closed too, allowing smoke to escape or air to flow in. That's pretty cool. That's their ventilation right there. Oh no. At last the teepee is completed. Mapia thinks about her own toy teepee. She wants to set it up for her doll Wiona. Mapia took the toy teepee apart before packing it and will put it together again just as her mother did when the family's teepee. By copying her mother in her play, Mapia learns how to do things she will need to do when she is grown up. Do you see her doll? Oh, I hope she hasn't lost her doll. Mapia finds the parfleche in which she packed her toys in lying open on the ground. When she reaches inside and pulls out the soft deerskin teepee cover and the wooden poles, Winona's little blanket is in there too. But Winona is not inside of the blanket. Mapia pulls everything out of the bag. No, Winona! Worried, Mapia searches through the other bags, but her doll is not inside any of them. Did Winona fall out of the bag when the family was traveling? Is the little doll lost in the long grass that covers the plains? So much grass, such a long trip. If Winona fell out of the way along the way, how will Mapia find her? Oh, look at her arms, and she's asking around if anybody's seen her. Mapia's father finds her searching for Winona in the tall grass. Have you seen my doll? Mapia asked him. No, he answered. I found my parfleche open. Maybe Winona fell out on the way.
Whoopi's in that Play-Doh.
Don't worry, Father says. I was the one who took all the parfleches off the horses when we got here.
Whoopi's doing.
None of them were open. Your doll could not have fallen away.
guess what Blippi's saying? He's saying Play-Doh.
Oh my goodness, that's awful. So there's no way he could have fallen out.
Blippi loves cake.
Mapia joins her mother, who has made a fire and is starting to cook. Father tightens his bow as Cheetah continues to sleep. Mother, have you seen Wiona? Asked Mapia. No, I haven't seen your doll. I wonder where she is. Just then, Cheetah wakes up and starts to cry. Of all the family, Mapia is best at getting Cheetah to stop crying. She goes over to the tree and makes a silly face and sticks out her tongue. Cheetah stops crying. He laughs and laughs. He likes his sister. And then that is when Mapia sees them. Do you see what Mapia sees? Two little beaded moccasins poking upside down from the cradle board. She tugs hard. Out comes the dress, the legs, then the dress, then the arms, and then the head of Wiona. Mapia gives Wiona a big hug. Mapia asks, how did you get in there, silly girl?
Silly.
At that moment, Tasha toodles over from Auntie's teepee, with grandmother trying her best to keep up. Tasha sees the doll. Nana, she exclaims. She pulls Winona out of Mapia's hand and sticks the doll back inside Cheetah's cradle board. Shh. Now I know who did it, says Mapia.
Mommy.
It was the little sister. You're right, Mapia, says Mother. I suppose tomorrow I'll have to make Tasha a doll of her own. So what kind of house did they live in the story? Mapia and her family lived in a teepee. Let's describe the type of clothes Mapia and her family wore. Mapia and her family wore dresses, long pants, moccasins, and they were made of what type of animal skins? Buffalo. What jobs did the women in the Lakota Sioux tribe have? Well, looks like the women did a lot of things, right? They had to take care of the kids, and they did sewing, cooking, setting up teepees, kinds of stuff. In the read aloud you heard, Tashina is always getting into mischief. Say the word mischief with me. Mischief. Getting into mischief is being naughty or getting into harmless trouble. When Raj's grandmother saw him digging up her plant, she told him to stop getting to mischief. Have you ever gotten into mischief? Try to use the word mischief when you talk about it. One time I got into mischief when, tell your grown up one time you got into mischief. They probably know. And so what's the word we've been talking about? Mischief. All right, so we're going to do thumbs up, thumbs down. If this is an activity that is putting people into mischief, we'll do thumbs up. If it's not mischief, thumbs down. Carl, oh my goodness, this is not good. Carl put a fly in his sister's water glass. Mischief. Tanya opened the door for her mother. Oh, not mischief, that was nice. Derek carefully put his toys back in the correct places. Not mischief. Maya put the blankets off the bed that her mother had just made. Oh no, mischief. Angelou poked his sister's back. Poke, 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 poke. Mischief. So remember that the Lakota Sioux lived on the Great Plains and ate buffalo. So we're going to talk about the different types of clothing that they wore. Before we do that, we're going to think about would we like to have lived in Mapia's family with the Sioux, why or why not? So I'll give you a second to discuss that. Would you like to live with Mapia and her family and the Sioux Indians? Why or why not? There's the mischief. I love that guy with a paper airplane. He's getting into mischief, and not only is he in mischief, he's going to throw a paper airplane. He's standing on his chair, and his shoelaces are untied. That's bad. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to our lesson number 3. Where is Winona? And we are going to look at our pictures here. And the first one says, this is a teepee. So right here where it says teepee, I want you to trace the letters teepee. T-I-P-I, teepee. And then here we have the Lakota Sioux made their clothes from, what type of animal was this? That's right, it was a buffalo. So I want you to color that buffalo. And then a phrase that's very important in the Lakota Sioux verbiage is practice makes perfect. So I want you to think of something that they practiced in their everyday life, something they needed to get better at. For example, you can think of something the boys practice or even something the girls might have to practice. Word work, mischief means getting into naughty or harmless trouble. Ask someone, when is the time you got into mischief? And then here at the bottom, I want you to draw a little picture of some Sioux clothes, some native Sioux clothes. A suggestion back on the other screen was to draw a picture of Mapia, but you don't have to draw a picture of Mapia. You can draw a picture of any of the Sioux boys and girls or mom and dad, a picture of a person wearing Sioux clothes. Okay? All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening. And I know that was a lot of material, but when we do the worksheet, we try to kind of pull out the most important material that we learned. So remember, this is a teepee and the buffalo were very important. And then we also learned about the clothing. And then this is a little phrase that's very important for you in your life. Practice makes perfect. And sometimes, you know what Miss Beck says? Practice makes better. Okay, so sometimes you won't get always perfect with what you do, but you can always try and you can always get better. All right, friends, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you later. Bye bye.